between a boy and man. She was 17 and she was far from in between. It was summertime in northern Michigan. Splashing through the sandbar, talking by the campfire. It's the simple things in life, like when and where. We didn't have no internet, but man, I never will forget the way the moonlight shined upon her hair. And we were trying different things, and we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our favorite song, sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow, singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Catching walleye from the dock, watching the waves roll off the rocks. She'll forever hold a spot inside my soul. We'd blister in the sun, we couldn't wait for night to come to hit that sand and play some rock and roll. While we were trying different things, and we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our favorite song, sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow, singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Now nothing seems as strange as when the leaves begin to change. Oh, how we thought those days would never end. Sometimes I hear that song and I'll start to sing along and think, man, I'd love to see that girl again. And we were trying different things, and we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our favorite song, sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow, singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. We were trying different things, and we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our favorite song, sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow, singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. 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 Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long.
You ready?
Good morning, folks. If you can all start taking your seat, we apologize for the late start, but we'll be getting started momentarily.
Some of us surviving, some of us just roaming, some of us just hoping the world will move on slowly. Some of us alive, but we're all gonna die one day. Yeah, some of us surviving, some of us just roaming, some of us just hoping the world will move on slowly. Some of us alive, we're all gonna die one day. 'Cause everybody I know is growing old too quickly, and I don't wanna go. No, how am I supposed to slow
morning, everybody. No pressure, huh? No pressure.
I never meant to be so bad to you. One thing I said that I would never do.
All right, let's do this again. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Salute to Service ceremony. I'm John Garber, Division Chief of Training and Safety, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies this morning. It's been 3 years since we've been able to hold a Salute to Service ceremony. We've all been pretty busy with things going on. It feels great to come together. Thank you all for coming out today. Long time coming. Please stand as Chaplain, Firefighter, Paramedic Mike Bass leads us in an invocation.
All right, good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming. As Chief already introduced me, my name is Michael Bass. I'm a newly promoted engineer, and I also serve as lead chaplain for the San Bernardino County Fire District. I specifically want to say a huge thank you to all the family and friends that are here today who have come to support their loved ones and celebrate with us today. And we are celebrating multiple things today. Awards like the Medal of Valor, Distinguished Service Awards, Exceptional Service Awards, badge pinning for different promotions, and also recognizing years for multiple service years for multiple different individuals. It is all about saluting those who have dedicated their lives to the service of the citizens of this great county. All of us in some way sacrifice ourselves and even sometimes time with our families so that we can serve the different communities that we work in. This is what we are called to do. John 15:13 says, "There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends." This is what we are called to do, to lay down our lives for each other in service. We are called to integrity, to compassion, to professionalism, to duty, to honor, and to the service of our community. Let us celebrate together as we recognize one another and all the hard work and sacrifices that each of us have made for the greater good of those who we serve and our communities as a whole. Please pray with me. Father God, we just come before you, Lord, and we're just so grateful for today. Lord, as all of us stepped into this career, we knew, God, that it would be a huge sacrifice and that we would be sacrificing times for ourselves, for our families, times with friends. But Lord, it is for the greater good and it is what you have called us to, Lord. And we are so grateful for this amazing position that you have put us in, Lord. As firefighters, as engineers, as captains, personnel that are at the chief level, Lord, and everyone else that works for the county, everyone that's being recognized today for all the hard work that they do for this county, Lord. You have placed on us a great calling, Lord, and I pray, God, that you may help us to continue to fulfill that calling, Lord, as we move on from today, Lord, but help us to also just celebrate with one another today, God, for the service that we have given and for the promotions, for the awards that we're receiving, and for the service years that we've served, Lord. Help us to just relish in a day with our family and friends, Lord. And again, Lord, we just thank you, God. Please keep everyone safe, Lord, and help us enjoy this time together. In your name, Jesus, amen. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Bass. Appreciate that. Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the San Bernardino County Fire Department's Honor Guard. Order, arms. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Right hand over your heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Chief officers, please join me on stage. I'd like to make some introductions. Chief Dan Muncie. Interim Deputy Chief Scott Tuttle. Deputy Chief Bertrell Washington. Assistant Chief Jeff Birchfield. Assistant Chief Kat Oppinger. Assistant Chief Kelly Anderson. Assistant Chief Martin Cerna. Division Chief Joe Barna. Division Chief Jim Topoleski. Assistant Fire Marshal, got to get back to my list here, I'm sorry. Monica Ronchetti. Go. Con Fire Manager Tim Frank. Fleet Manager Dale Sandoval. Thank you, Chiefs. You may be seated. We start this morning with a presentation of awards. The meritorious awards are the highest level of the department recognition to employees who provide exceptional service or performance while on duty or at an emergency incident. The committee is comprised of one member from every division and is not rank specific. The awards are from 2001 and 2002 and reflect the recipient's rank at that time. On behalf of Chief Muncie and the entire executive staff, I am honored to recognize the following award recipients. The most honorable award, the Medal of Valor, is bestowed upon an employee who has performed a conspicuous act of valor and heroism under hazardous conditions, a valorous act in boldness or determination in facing great danger, especially protecting the life of another.
On the night of May 7th, 2021, Engine Company 304 responded to a reported structure fire at a residence in Spring Valley Lake, with reports of children trapped on the second floor of the residence. When they arrived on scene, the adults who had exited the home told them that there were 3 children still upstairs. The crew made entry into the structure to perform a search and rescue operation before the first hose line entered the house. With most of the fire involvement being downstairs, they were able to go directly to the area in which the children were reported to be. The crew encountered zero visibility and high heat upstairs. Company 304 personnel quickly found and rescued all 3 children. CPR was immediately initiated and pulses were returned to all 3 children prior to transport. Other engine companies were on scene and worked together to extinguish the fire. However, the crew from Company 304 acted above and beyond by risking their lives to rescue these children. This was a high-risk situation and was executed with exceptional performance and bravery by all members involved. Although the outcome was not as we had hoped, the crew gave the children every chance available at the time. Receiving the Medal of Valor Award, Captain Greg Soria, Captain Michael Labs, Firefighter Paramedic Kevin Self, Firefighter Paramedic Kyle Jerkins, and Firefighter Andrew Meadows.
Captain Greg Soria. Engineer Michael Labs. Firefighter Paramedic Kevin Self. Firefighter Paramedic Kyle Jerkins. Firefighter Andrew Meadows. Congratulations. You may be seated. Our next award is the Fire Chief's Distinguished Service Award. This award highlights individuals who have consistently, year after year, placed their fellow firefighter family and the residents of San Bernardino County needs above themselves. They have lived our service motto, duty, honor, and community.
Captain Jared Newcomer joined County Fire as an explorer in 2001. When Jared became a full-time firefighter paramedic in 2007, he quickly demonstrated his belief in giving back to the communities we serve. In 2016, Jared was elected by his fellow public safety members to represent them as a trustee on the San Bernardino County Employee Retirement Association. In this role, Jared has demonstrated that he isn't simply a voting member, but he's an outstanding advocate for his fellow employees. Being outstanding means that Jared's personal time is impacted on a high level. Over the past several years, many members who have been severely injured in the line of duty and those considering retirement have sought out Jared's guidance. Past retirees often call Jared and ask him questions and request his assistance in difficult and complex situations. Jared, recognizing the need to perform at an even higher level, has facilitated and engaged in discussions with Human Resources, the Retirement Board Management, and the Executive Fire Chiefs to ensure better coordination, to reduce the amount of time service retirements are required, and ensure the long-range staffing plans can be better accomplished. Captain Newcomer is being recognized for his high sense of duty to his fellow brothers and sisters. His commitment to continuous improvement in this support role is tremendous. Receiving the Fire Chief's Distinguished Service Award, Captain Jared Newcomer.
Receiving the Fire Chief's Distinguished Service Award, Captain Jared Newcomer. Congratulations.
Engineer Jeremy Pendergraft joined County Fire as a full-time firefighter paramedic in 2007. Since the very beginning of his career, Jeremy has been involved in community events and supporting his brothers and sisters in need. Recognizing the need to support his brothers and sisters even more, Jeremy offered to join now retired Captain Dave Burkhart as the care team was formed. In 2017, while supporting his fire brother Corey Norton during a tough cancer fight, Jeremy recognized the need to be able to financially support our county fire family members who are sick and injured. Jeremy became instrumental in starting the San Bernardino County Fire Benevolent Foundation. After being involved in the care team for over 10 years, Jeremy, along with retired Captain Dave Burkhart and Assistant Fire Chief Kelly Anderson, are now working hard to expand the care team into an expanded management team concept to better care for our members in need. This expansion is allowing many more of our fire family to become involved in the care team process and will provide even greater support to our members and their family in need. Joining Jeremy on stage is retired Battalion Chief Chris Norton. Chief Norton and the Norton family are extremely grateful for Jeremy's friendship, brotherhood, and service to our brother Corey Norton, who passed from cancer 2 years ago. Jeremy is a previous Exceptional Service Awardee for his off-duty life-saving efforts during a gruesome traffic accident. He is also receiving an Exceptional Service Award this year for life-saving efforts on a sheriff deputy. While Jeremy has made it clear that while accepting this award, he believes that he's only one member of an extremely amazing care team and is humbled by this opportunity. Jeremy is being recognized for his high sense of honor in the service to his fire family. Receiving the Fire Chief's Distinguished Service Award, Engineer Jeremy Pendergraft.
Receiving the Fire Chief's Distinguished Service Award, Engineer Jeremy Pendergraft. Congratulations.
Engineer Jason McLaughlin joined County Fire in 2004 as a paid call firefighter. In 2006, Jason was offered a full-time position as a firefighter paramedic. In 2007, just off his probation, Jason stepped up and became a representative for the Spark of Love. Seeing the positive impact of the program on our county's residents, Jason agreed to lead County Fire's Spark of Love team and has done so for the last 9 years. Being a leader in this program is a very demanding job and requires an immense amount of personal time. Jason has worked tirelessly to engage with many community organizations, businesses, and his fellow brothers and sisters to ensure a successful Sparkle Love season. Jason is a previous Medal of Valor honoree and has been honored as the Firefighter of the Year while serving in the city of Victorville. Jason is chosen because of his long-standing commitment to community. During the holiday season, the Sparkle Love team does a tremendous job in bringing joy to thousands of children's lives in our community. County Fire is grateful to all of our members who step up to support the Sparkle Love and for Engineer Jason McLaughlin's leadership. Receiving the Fire Chief's Distinguished Service Award, Engineer Jason McLaughlin.
Receiving the Fire Chief's Distinguished Service Award, Engineer Jason McLaughlin.
I just want to say thank you to Dan Muncie, and I just want to thank my Sparkle Love team. I couldn't do this without them, so I just want to mention their names. Craig Line, Jose Cruz, Kenny White, Marco Garcia, Russ Warren, Cody Underwood, Casey Dodge, Dale Kalusik, Jason Bernatine, Brian Wright, Robert Guerrero. Thank you, guys.
The Exceptional Service Award is awarded for performance beyond the call of duty and saving lives or property, or to an employee who has performed great acts of service in an outstanding manner. We have 13 Exceptional Service Awards this morning.
As many people know, Captain James Salazar was a driving force in creating San Bernardino County Fire Protection District's inaugural hand crew, which became operational in 2013. This hand crew, known as Old Cajon Crew 6, has been quite successful since its inception. Consequently, Captain Salazar was tasked to create a second hand crew in 2021. With his leadership and administrative skills, the new hand crew, known as Harrison Canyon Crew 7, was formed and immediately became a strong program which created more permanent and seasonal jobs for the district, assisting many communities in the short time it has been in operation. Captain Salazar was integral in applying for and was awarded a grant by the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians for approximately $97,000 with the intention of purchasing the new equipment needed to start the new hand crew. Harrison Canyon Crew 7 is currently wrapping up their second successful fire season under his leadership. The time and energy he has given to the fire district to create this new hand crew goes above and beyond the normal call of duty. He has given numerous hours of his own time to make these programs a success. Additionally, Captain Salazar became a member of the Wildlands Subcommittee with FireScope in 2022. While in his position, he formed a steering committee of local government hand crews that have been working together to create standards of operation for the crews. These standards include training, qualifications, rosters, crew typing, and common terminology. Receiving the Exceptional Service Award, Captain James Salazar.
Receiving the Exceptional Service Award is Captain James Salazar. James is unable to be with us today.
On an early June morning, Medic Engine 76 was dispatched to a traffic collision on Interstate 10 in Fontana. The vehicles involved in the accident were stopped in the Sierra Avenue exit lane and the slow lane of the freeway. A well-meaning tractor-trailer driver stopped his rig in the slow lane to serve as a buffer from the freeway traffic, protecting the involved vehicles. Medic Engine 76 parked in the exit lane, and the captain and paramedic began to assess the injuries of the people involved. Engineer Odin started placing road flares to protect the patients and the first responders and providing a greater visibility of the scene to oncoming drivers. As Engineer Odin was walking alongside the freeway placing flares, he was exposed to freeway traffic and was the first to notice a semi-tractor coming straight towards the collision scene. Engineer Odin quickly grabbed the driver of the buffering tractor trailer and pulled him onto the freeway shoulder in the nick of time. The driver did not have to try and make a split-second decision of where to find safety since Odin jumped in and made the decision for him. While pulling the driver to safety, Odin alerted the rest of the crew, paramedic crews, and others on scene about the dire situation. What came next was absolutely frightening. The semi-truck barreled at full speed directly towards the original collision site where first responders, the patients of the original collision, and members of the public were standing. The semi-truck hit medic engine 76 from behind, destroying the engine. Engineer Odin's attention to the scene and selfless action saved the driver of the uninvolved tractor trailer and alerted others so they had enough time to get out of the way. He did not think of himself. He thought and acted for the benefit of his crew as well as others on scene. The quick actions of Engineer Odin likely saved several lives that day. Assistant Chief Jeff Birchfield stated, "We are thankful that our firefighters, emergency responders, and others on scene were not injured. While an engine is replaceable, people are not." Receiving the Exceptional Service Award, Engineer Nathan Odin.
Receiving the Exceptional Service Award, Engineer Nathan Odin. Congratulations.
On March 23, 2021, Deputy Dustin Whitson responded to a call for service of an unwanted person at a storage facility in Hesperia. During the incident, he was subsequently shot several times. As Dustin lay on the ground, motionless, suffering from critical, life-threatening injuries, several civilians ran to help him. One civilian used their cell phone to take several photos of the suspect's vehicle as it fled, which later led to the suspect's capture, while another civilian used Dustin's portable sheriff's radio to broadcast, "Officer down." The crew of Air Rescue 306, consisting of Sheriff's Pilot Sergeant John Anderson and Crew Chief Corporal Chris Mejia, Captain Jay Hausman, and Engineer Paramedic Michael Demoff, were at the Sheriff's hangar in San Bernardino. As soon as they heard information broadcast by Sheriff's Dispatch about the possibility of a deputy down, the crew immediately launched to assist. While en route, deputies and fire personnel arrived at the scene and began life-saving measures on Deputy Whitson. As Air Rescue 306 was landing at the scene, they made the split-second decision to forego any non-critical components of care at the scene and opted to immediately load the deputy into the helicopter for transport to a trauma center. It was later determined that Dustin's internal bleeding was so massive that this decision undoubtedly saved crucial time, helping to save Dustin's life. It should be noted that prior to transport, Captain Brett Marshall, Engineer Jeremy Pendergraft, firefighter Carlos Copete, and ambulance operator paramedics Andy Walk and Jacob Sabrito provided exceptional trauma care to Dustin, stabilizing his vitals and preparing him for the flight. Dustin was flown to Loma Linda University Medical Center where trauma surgeons were standing by. The medical team met the crew and took over patient care, which included many hours of intense surgery to stop the bleeding. Dustin remained in the hospital for several weeks, and thankfully, due to the heroic actions of all involved, Dustin not only survived the traumatic incident, but eventually returned to full duty as a deputy sheriff. Receiving the Exceptional Service Award is Captain Jay Hausman, Captain Brett Marshall, Engineer Michael Demoff, Engineer Jeremy Pendergraft, Firefighter Carlos Copete, Ambulance Operator Andy Walk, Ambulance Operator Jacob Sobrito, Sheriff Sergeant John Anderson, Sheriff Corporal Chris Mejia.
Not with us today, Engineer Michael Demoff, Sheriff Sergeant John Anderson, and Sheriff Corporal Chris Mejia. And also, Medic Ambulance Operator Paramedic Jacob Sabrino. Congratulations.
On the night of May 17, 2022, a call came into dispatch reporting an unconscious 73-year-old female. Dispatcher Mayuri Leohasawan, as always, stayed completely calm while gathering information to determine the patient's condition and needs. The caller was cooperative, but was struggling to control her emotions as she described the patient's condition. Once Mayuri became aware of the patient's breathing pattern, which could be heard through the phone, she moved immediately to give the reporting party CPR instructions. At one point, the reporting party became distressed as she did not perceive CPR as doing anything to help. Mayuri continued coaching her to continue CPR while explaining how her intervention is helping the patient. Mayuri continued giving CPR instructions for approximately 9 more minutes until help arrived. Later on, the reporting party contacted CommCenter and said the nursing staff wanted to know who had started CPR because that saved the patient's life. The reporting party gave credit to Mayuri, stating that following her instructions is what saved the patient's life. Receiving the Exceptional Service Award, Emergency Service Dispatcher Mayuri Leohasawan.
Receiving the Exceptional Service Award, Emergency Service Dispatcher Mayuri Lesuwan. Congratulations.
On the morning of June 19, 2022, CommCenter received a call for a commercial fire alarm. Additional reports came in reporting flames were seen at the 4th floor windows of a 6-story building. While en route, Medic Truck 221 requested the call be upgraded to a commercial structure fire. This address is one of several in the city of San Bernardino that starts with more equipment and personnel on the initial assignment due to it being a high-rise. Within 1 minute of the first unit arriving on scene, the incident command post was established and the response was upgraded to a second alarm. Heavy fire was seen from the 4th floor and already spreading to the 5th. 5 minutes after the second alarm, it was upgraded to a third alarm. Another 8 minutes later, the incident commander requested a heavy response. A heavy response is an augmented amount of equipment and personnel to handle a structure fire that poses substantial risk and challenges due to the size or type of the structure. There was an additional unanticipated complication. Once the response had been upgraded to a third alarm, our computer-aided dispatch system, also known as CAD, would not allow the primary radio dispatcher to recommend any other units. Valerie advised the IC it was not pulling anything, and the IC responded that 25 engines, 5 battalion chiefs, and 5 trucks should be sent. Valerie requested the radio dispatcher add these manually to create the heavy response. Valerie was tasked with relaying her needs to the floor and making sure the proper responses were dispatched, paging San Bernardino County Fire, ensuring the organization was aware of the incident, notifying battalion chiefs of their units responding, keeping the units on the proper tactical radio frequency, getting move-up engines on the road to the stations that needed coverage and with the appropriate resources, all while fulfilling the request of the incident commander and accurately documenting the call. As additional alarms were added, Valerie had to make sure those units were using the proper radio frequency and knew where to report. In addition, she coordinated ambulance requests, including an ambulance for an injured firefighter. Valerie completed this task with the help of her team members while also following through with other calls in the area. Receiving the Exceptional Service Award, Emergency Services Dispatcher Valerie Lucero.
Receiving the Exceptional Service Award, Emergency Service Dispatcher Valerie Lucero. Congratulations. The Sustained Superior Performance Award is awarded to an employee who has demonstrated outstanding service to the department or to the public safety of the community, or an employee who has donated considerable time and or effort toward the betterment of the community, not necessarily in a job-related manner. We have two receiving this award.
Diane Mendez is the lead fiscal person for all incident-related activities. She is responsible for reviewing and processing all incident-related documents for all of County Fire. Diane helps process all public assistance, reimbursements of labor and equipment materials, and contract costs post-disaster or emergency. She has attended several trainings to ensure the department is eligible for and can submit reimbursement claims. Diane has received certifications in administration of public assistance for community recovery through FEMA. Thanks to Diane's efforts, the department has submitted several reimbursement packages through the Public Assistance Grant Program, which has resulted in the department recovering almost $3 million of disaster claims. Diane is a very important member of the incident management team. On federal and local emergency incidents, Diane is certified as a cost unit leader to oversee unit staff to track cost, analyze cost data, make estimates, and recommend cost-saving measures. On local incidents, Diane is certified as a Finance Sections Chief 3 Priority Trainee on the emergency incidents to negotiate, implement land use agreements, maintain and negotiate vendor contracts, administer claims, and track and analyze incident cost. Diane is in a unique position to review, analyze, and make recommendations on reimbursement activities, including making recommendations for policy and procedure for San Bernardino County emergency incidents. Diane is also the lead person for all department grants. She is very knowledgeable about the department's programs and was instrumental in the submission of multiple grant applications. As our main grant coordinator, she helps track grant projects and goals and ensures that all necessary reports are submitted to the appropriate grantor. Diane provides great customer service and can be relied upon for being responsive and aiding when needed. Receiving the Sustained Superior Performance Award, Staff Analyst 2, Diane Mendez.
Again, receiving the Sustained Superior Performance Award, Staff Analyst 2, Diane Mendez. Congratulations.
Pat Mulholland has worked for San Bernardino County Fire Protection District for 22 years, 19 of those as a North Desert field mechanic. Pat goes above and beyond every day. His work ethic, dedication, and pride in his work are unparalleled. Pat is well known and appreciated by all those who have worked for him. County Fire has benefited from Pat's hard work in ways that most of the department personnel have witnessed. There are too many reasons to list, but here is one example of his dedication and commitment to his duties. Pat is known to stop by a station on his day off on his own time to ensure fire engines are up and running properly. Pat has received many accolades for his superior performance, ethics, dedication, and pride in his profession. Pat will be retiring in the spring of 2023 and will be sorely missed. Receiving the Sustained Superior Performance Award, Mechanic Patrick Mulholland.
Receiving the Sustained Superior Performance Award, Mechanic Patrick Mulholland. Congratulations. The highest commitment to service award is being given to the tower coordinators who have taken on the arduous task of coordinating the tower, leading the instructor cadre, and ensuring the trainees receive the best training possible. This is not an easy task. It takes perseverance and dedication. They work extremely hard with the goal to shape the men and women of our next generation of firefighters. Many of these captains have overseen several towers and continue as tower liaisons. The tower liaisons continue providing mentoring and guidance through the year-long firefighter probationary period. It takes a team to run a tower. These coordinators could not have done it without the assistance of their instructor cadre. We thank all those who have stepped up and make our towers successful. The highest commitment to service award goes to Captain Jay Hausman, who served as tower coordinator with Captain Krajewski for Towers 6 and 7. Captain Andrew Bonas, who served in the cadre for 10 towers, taking the lead role as tower coordinator with Captain McGarvey for Tower 15. He is currently the liaison for Tower 15. Captain Brandon McGarvey, who served in the cadre for 5 towers, taking the lead role as tower coordinator with Captains Bonas for Tower 15. He is currently liaison for Tower 15. Not with us today, also receiving the award would be Captain Dustin Krajewski, Captain Matt Anderson, Captain Nick Turner, Captain Scott Leidner. Congratulations to all the recipients. I'll now turn the program over to Division Chief Joe Barna, who will be announcing the promotions and new hire honorees.
Good morning, everybody. What an honor it is to be here with this morning. We are starting out the badge pinning a little bit differently because there's a new dog in town. Well, actually, several to be exact. County Fire is excited to introduce our K-9 support team with 2 arson investigation dogs and 5 care team K-9s. In April 2021, County Fire launched its first arson K-9 program in over 20 years through a partnership with State Farm. Fire investigator Sean Reese and his K-9 Dinty and the Black Labrador Retriever were the first to join County Fire's elite investigative team. In April of 2022, Ginny, a yellow Labrador Retriever, came on board with her handler, Assistant Fire Marshal Brian Headley. Having his badge pinned first is Dinty, accompanied by his handler, investigator Sean Reese. Ginny and Dinty are accelerant detection canines, highly trained to sniff out minute traces of accelerants and ignitable liquids, finding crucial evidence at fire scenes, identifying the cause of fire, assisting in cold crime cases, and uncovering potential evidence in arsons and homicides. An invaluable resource in arson investigations, their senses are extraordinary, capable of hitting on a single drop of accelerant and can detect flammable liquids over 100 times more accurately than electronic gas detectors. K-9 Ginny, accompanied by her handler, Assistant Fire Marshal Brian Headley. Initially, the K-9s and their handler go through 200 hours of intense training. In addition to their daily training regimen, they have to complete a 2-day recertification class annually. Ginny and Dintley are currently the only arson K-9s in San Bernardino County and are 2 of 6 K-9 teams statewide. As part of the care team over the past year, County Fire has developed the K9 Support Dog Program. We are blessed with 5 care dogs. Receiving his badge, Baxter, accompanied with his handler, Battalion Chief Mark Bixler. Oh, they're not here today, I apologize. We have Cooper, accompanied with his handler, Captain Paul Kramer. The program's goals are part of a crisis response and mental health therapy program to improve behavioral wellness in San Bernardino County's fire family. Members may suffer from the impacts of long shifts, difficult incidents, and other on or off-duty stressors. These dogs are a tool to aid those employees with these issues. Next, we have Remy, accompanied by his handler, Captain Brent Cannon. And daughter, Azusana. Our dogs are also available to provide the same support for our community members. The dogs participate in special presentations, community events, official ceremonies, and provide public education. The dogs teams also assist neighboring agencies with their support needs. Under the guidance of Assistant Chief Jeff Birchfield, the program aims to increase mental health awareness and support for our employees. The team trains twice a month, increasing the effectiveness of the dog teams. Finally, we have Bailey, accompanied by his handler, Engineer Steve Story. The K9 Support Program has been made possible by a partnership with Working Dogs for Warriors. Their organization has been paramount in starting our program and aids with our ongoing training. Not able to be here with us today was Baxter with Battalion Chief Mark Bixler and Scout with Engineer BJ Myers. So now on to the human badge pinning. Due to COVID, we had several small badge pinning ceremonies at the stations to pay tribute to those who promoted. Therefore, many of those have chosen to cover stations so that others may attend today's ceremony. Recipients, after receiving your badge and helmet, please pause for a photo, but in the interest of time, all other photos will be taken at the end of the ceremony. We begin with those employees who were promoted in 2022. First up is Assistant Chief Kelly Anderson. Next, we have Division Chief John Garber. Battalion Chief Josh Pullen, pinned by his wife Amy. Fire Captain Derek Blencarn, pinned by his wife Cindy and daughter Drew. Captain Christian Cavada, pinned by his wife Amy, son Kyson, son Caden, and son Carter. Captain Lee Martin, pinned by Rory, his daughter. Captain Kenneth Fippany, pinned by his wife Ashley. Captain Adrian Leone, pinned by girlfriend Sunny. Captain Jason Williams, pinned by fiancée Sarah. Captain Mike Gladys, pinned by Chief Muncie. Captain Kenny White, pinned by wife Sharon and kids Ray and Tay. Captain Brandon McGarvey, pinned by wife Lisa Marie and son Logan. Captain Andrew Bonas, pinned by wife Lindsay and son Austin. Daughter Austin, sorry. Captain Michael Labs, pinned by his wife Haley. Captain Brent Cannon, pinned by daughter Azucena and sons Brent and Logan. Captain Matt Gulsarian, pinned by his wife Wendy and son and daughter Luke and Lily. Engineer Kevin Self, pinned by wife Courtney. Engineer Brandon Dugan, pinned by his father, retired Fire Captain Alan Dugan. Engineer Casey Dodge, pinned by his daughter Brooklyn. Engineer Jerry Jimenez, pinned by his girlfriend Maria and son Eli. Engineer Andrew Ball, pinned by his father Glenn. Engineer Cody Nelson, pinned by his wife Gianna. Engineer Adam Johnston, pinned by his wife Cece, son Bryce, and son Caden. Engineer Richard Brummel, pinned by his wife Kristen, stepson Jackson Rupert, Kira, and Ryder. Engineer Michael Bass, pinned by his wife Viviana, daughter Zoe, son Zechariah, and son Zion. Hazardous Material Specialist 3, Joy Chakma, and wife Papri. Hazardous Material Specialist 3, Alicia Enciso, pinned by Chief Muncie. Hazardous Material Specialist 2, Alyssa Parsons, pinned by Mother Mary and Father Russell. Hazardous Material Specialist 2, Diego Cervantes, pinned by his father Isidro. Fire Prevention Officer Trainee Carlos Sanchez, pinned by his father Gilberto. Fire Prevention Specialist Tim English, pinned by Deputy Fire Marshal Tom Strong. Front Counter Technician Rosemary Wallace. Front Counter Tech, Donna Weiss, pinned by daughter Allison, mom Debbie, and husband JC.
Division Chief Joe Barna. I had to step in for him. He'll be back. Engineer Ben Gradius, pinned by his wife, Krista. Assistant Fire Marshal Yannette Scrove, pinned by husband Tyler, daughters Annabella, and son Joshua. Assistant Fire Marshal George Mann, pinned by his wife Amber. Assistant Fire Marshal Curtis Markloff, pinned by Chief Muncie.
Fire Prevention Officer Trainee Priscilla Reyes, pinned by her son Josiah, with her husband Joseph and daughter Penelope. Fire Prevention Specialist Zared Ibarra, pinned by Tom Strong. Hazardous Materials Specialist 2, Matthew Valenzuela, pinned by his wife, Jessica. Hazardous Materials Specialist 2, Anna Villanueva, pinned by her mother, Rosa. Hazardous Materials Specialist 2, Bobby Garibay, pinned by his fiancée, Tatiana. Vehicle Services Manager, Dale Sandoval. Hazardous Materials Specialist 3, Alejandra Rojas, pinned by her father, Ciro. Hazardous Materials Specialist 1, Matt Kovac, pinned by his father, Marv. Hazardous Materials Specialist 1, Eric Tillis, pinned by girlfriend Mandy, dad Ernie, and sleeping Blaine. Hazardous Materials Specialist Trainee Jocelyn Verduzco and Mother Maria. Fire Prevention Officer Trainee Sam Feliciano, pinned by his wife Marlene. Fire Prevention Officer Trainee Vanessa Singh, pinned by Fire Chief Dan Munson. EMS Training Officer John Commander for 30 years of service with County Fire. Fiscal Assistant Michael Johnson for 30 years of service with County Fire. Executive Assistant Cynthia Otter for 20 years of service with our County Fire family. Fire Equipment Tech 2 John Singleton for 20 years of service. Fire Prevention Officer Javier Gaona for 5 years with County Fire. Cassandra Weber, Office Assistant 3, 5 years with the County Fire family.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, each year we honor those who have served the county for a minimum of 5 years. These recipients receive a county service pin for their dedication and service. Receiving their 30 years pins, let's see, is Tracy, are you out there? I think this is a great time to have a little seventh inning stretch. Anybody want to stand up, stretch it out? All right. And now it's my honor for you, myself, to present Fire Chief Dan Muncy.
I got to talk to at least half of you. I feel so presidential with this music. It may not be a good thing. I feel like I've got to talk to half of you as you've come to receive your awards or to be recognized or honored. The other half, I think I've said hi to you as I walk through the audience, but it's tremendous that you're here to support your loved one. As the fire chief, that's probably the number one job that I have, is to create the atmosphere where your employees, where our firefighters and staff and administrators and warehousemen and mechanics and Office of Fire Marshal, the nurses feel like they're supported. But I know that I can't do that without your support, fellow employees and the family. So being here and seeing you is just tremendous. It is the biggest honor that you could ever imagine, being the fire chief of this great fire department. The men and women step up every single day. And if I stop, I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to go back. I've been the fire chief for just over the last 3 years. And in the last 3 years, the world has changed, undeniably. It's more than just COVID. It's more than just uncertain economic times. It's more than just the housing prices going up or seeing oil going up or not being able to buy a car or even a battery for your car. The world's rapidly changing, and as I think about normalcy and what does it mean to have grown up in the Ronald Reagan years, the 1980s, and in the 90s, and the 2000s, what does it take to get back? And I don't know. But I do know this, that the men and women that work here bring normalcy to people's lives. There's one thing that you can count on through all the uncertain time we've had over the last 3 years, and that's when you needed help, your fire department would be there. I want to thank you as families, and I want to thank our fire family for stepping up every single day and putting on this uniform that gives us so much pride, to put on this badge that means everything. And I want to thank you for coming and being recognized, for accepting awards, for accepting the recognition. When I was a firefighter, at times people would embarrass me. They would embarrass all of us. They'd call us heroes. I don't know many of our fire family that joined this profession to be a hero. We did it because we believe in service above oneself. We believe that this wasn't a job, this isn't a career, this is a calling. It was always embarrassing for me to hear that and to receive the recognition and the awards sometimes. But I'll tell you this, every man and woman that works in our fire family is important to me, and you are all heroes because you make a difference in people's lives. Thank you so much for coming to our event. Before I started, my PIO, Tracy Martinez, took me aside and said, "Hey, don't say thank you too much." She said, "Just once." That's not my job. And so the last person I want to thank is Tracy Martinez and her team for putting on such an amazing event, and for those employees. And for those employees that have come to support this event, I know it's taken away from your day job. And for the chief officers that continuously lead courageously in this fire department, our managers, our supervisors, for the support of your employees. Thank you.
If we can give one more round of applause for all our recipients, promotees, congratulations, great job. With that, this concludes our program. Individual, family, and group photos will be taken outside the east doors near the fire engine. Thank you for all attending today. Please join us for lunch, courtesy of the San Bernardino County Professional Firefighters Association and Local 935. Have a great afternoon and stay safe. Thank you.
Like the dragon's wings, 'cause it's the heat.